What's up, guys? Ninja Nick 333. We are here for round 2 of the League Challenge in East Greenbush, New York at Flipside Gaming. It's 2 Flipside Gaming, so I get them confused sometimes. So this was East Greenbush. We've got our friend Jose here on the left, who is playing a Zoroark box deck. And then we have, I believe his name is Anthony here on the right. I believe it's the first time I met this guy. He's pretty cool, though. He is playing Lost Box. Pretty generic, just the turbo, gotta go fast, has some Vs, Dragonite, Raikou, all that good stuff in there. So, in theory, he should be extremely favored here just because the Zoroark deck will be playing a lot of things like the Curlias in order to get the refinement ability going so that they can set up pretty easily. We're going to go start with the Cramorant active Battle VIP Pass for a couple of Comfey. As I always say, you want to get Comfey, Radiant Greninja, or double Comfey off your first Battle VIP Pass. Depending on what your hand looks like, we are going to get our first card in the Lost Zone. He's putting that die up there. He's got that Magic the Gathering spin down die to help me keep track of this, which I appreciate. He did this in all of his rounds. So we're going to go in second flower selecting after we hard retreat using a Lightning Energy. And we see Boss's Orders and Nest Ball. We're going to go for the Nest Ball. We're going to put that Boss's Orders in the Lost Zone. Usually these Lost Box decks only play one boss, so that'll be important to note that that won't really be a factor in this game. At this point, he should be assuming that he is against Gardevoir, but I am pretty sure Jose is on Zoroark. Yeah, so as you can see, he is discarding some, I believe, stage 1 attackers that his Zoroark can transform into. So Zoroark has this Phantom Transformation ability. It is a stage 1 that evolves off that Zoroark he just Ultra Balled for. And it says you can discard the Pokemon and then play a stage 1 Pokemon from your discard in its place. So we see that Slowbro. I'm not sure what the other Pokemon is. I'm not quite familiar with a grass attacker that's in the deck. But the Slowbro is really fun. It has an attack that says if your opponent is at 1 prize card, take 2 prize cards. So in a lot of 1 prizer matchups, it's really good. It's really good against pretty much anything, honestly. If your opponent can get to 1 prize card at the same time that you get to 2, you can just use Slowbro to win the game. So we're going to go for the Judge here. That is a great way to disrupt this Lost Box deck. Also, Jose needs to get set up as best he can. He wants to get as many Pokemon into play as possible this first turn. So I'm not sure if he's got the Battle VIP passes in here or not, or if it's just these Nest Balls. But either way, the Nest Ball is a perfect thing to grab here. So we get another Zora on the bench. We get another Ralts on the bench. The Zoroark deck before, I believe it did lose Twin Energy, but it should still have access to Double Turbo. So it makes it a little bit less consistent with attacking with certain Pokemon, but some of the attackers do attack for just 1 energy. The Curlias used to be Chinchinos, which were a little bit better because they had an attack where you could grab an energy from your discard pile while doing, I believe, 40 damage. So it's not too bad. It also had 1 retreat instead of 2. So unfortunately, those did rotate, so we are forced to play the Curlia line instead, but it doesn't change too much of how the deck functions in that regard. So we do see the Nest Ball is going to get the Radiant Greninja here at this point, which is perfect. That's exactly what you want to have out. As I always say, you want the double Comfey and that Greninja. So we're likely going to go for a flower selecting here next. We have 2 cards in the Lost Zone now. We want to get to at least 4 this turn, which should be completely doable having 2 Comfeys in rotation here, because you want to be able to attack with that Cramorant. Cramorant has an ability that says you can attack for free if you have 4 or more cards in the Lost Zone. So here we go. We use Radiant Greninja's concealed cards, discarding a basic energy card in order to draw 2 cards. We get the Forest Sealstone. We're going to bench Dragonite with the Forest Sealstone in order to use the Forest Sealstone's V-Star power, which allows you to search your deck for any 1 card. So he is missing 1 thing, which it looks like he's going to go for the Chorus's Experiment. And that's why this version of Lost Box tends to be the most consistent version, in my opinion. Just because you can always slap down a V Pokemon with the Forest Sealstone and grab a Chorus's Experiment if you're missing it. You never really want to bench the V Pokemon that early, but, sometimes you got to do it. It's a little better in the Charizard version where you have the Pidgeot because you can attach the Forest Seal Stone to the Pidgeot and then shuffle it right back into your deck. But if we get a Lost Vacuum, we can also use that to put the Forest Seal Stone into the Lost Zone and just get even more into there that way. So we are at 5 now. I want to say he did put a Lost Vacuum in the Lost Zone along with that Nest Ball. So we're going to play a Beach Court here. Is going to give both players one less retreat on their basic Pokemon. So Comfey can retreat for free. We're going to use that Colress. Or no, we're going to use that next Flower Selecting. We're going to put one Water Energy into the Lost Zone and that Switch Card into hand. Yeah, now all that we need is a card to switch into the Cramorant, which would be that Switch card. So might as well just play that. But it looks like he does have another Lost Vacuum. He's going to play the Lost Vacuum. He is going to get rid of his own Sableye that's in his hand, as well as the Beach Court, so that his opponent can't use that. I think that personally, I would have gotten rid of the Forest Seal Stone and left the Beach Court. I don't think that... Knowing that I'm against Zoroark, I don't think that I fear my opponent being able to use the Beach Court that much. We are going to go for a double Mirage Gate. It looks like we're going to put one Water onto the Greninja, as well as one Lightning onto the Dragonite with one of them, and then another Water and one Psychic Energy onto the Greninja with the second one. And now we are going to go in. Unfortunate that Jose was not able to find a Manaphy. I'm sure he's playing that, but it was more important for him to try to go for the setup with the with the Zoras in play than to try to play around a Greninja in just hopes that he can't do anything with the Greninja there. And unfortunately, we got to the double Mirage Gate immediately, and Jose just scoops because there are no more Zoras in play. So that's kind of just how matchups like this work. Sometimes you're just super weak to Radiant Greninja, and sometimes Lost Box just gets the 7 cards in Lost Zone turn 2 with double Mirage Gate, and then, you know, what do you do? So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just a very unfortunate matchup. But we will see you guys next time for the next round. As always, do not forget to do what it says above and comment, like, and subscribe, and all of that good stuff to help feed that hungry YouTube algorithm.